Hey everybody, welcome to Zotian Epoch episode 37 or 36. I'm thinking ahead in the future, don't worry about it. Um yeah, thank you for joining us. We are going to take a moment, however. If you did watch last episode, um some interesting situations happened at the end. Unfortunately, this was distressing for everybody involved, and we've had plenty of chats about how to proceed going forward. Of course, this campaign will continue to the best of our abilities, and we're going to take steps to go forward. However, one of our members who plays Leo has some things to say to those of you watching, and anything towards myself and our other player and anyone who has played in this campaign. Anything like that has already been sort of hashed out. But yeah, Trell, if you'd like to take the floor, do please go ahead.
Oh boy. I cannot apologize enough. There is no possible, feasible way in any situation or universe or anything for that matter that I could apologize enough for the way I acted as Leo last session. Even if I could come up with an excuse, it's not going to be a good enough one to excuse the actions that I did. I don't normally do that sort of thing. I'm not that type of person. I don't enjoy that. I I cannot apologize enough. I will continuously say I am sorry to everyone, and I'm just I can't apologize enough. I can't. I'm sorry. I know that what I did was traumatic for everyone involved, and I can't apologize enough. I can't. I will not be able to properly express my apologies in any amount of words, in any way, shape, or form. My actions were inexcusable, and I am so incredibly sorry to everyone that was involved. It, it, I am grateful that Humek and Noxie have at least accepted my apologies, and I, I'm just I'm very sorry, and there is no excuse for what I've done. And both myself and Leo will be doing their best, our best in this sense of the word, to make up for the actions that I did. And if I could physically kowtow in front of all of you, I would physically be kowtowing, but images and whatnot don't allow for that. But I kowtow to all of you. I am forever. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Leo. Um, so yeah, for there's no reason to really get into the details, but if you do want to see what happened, it's at the end of the last episode. It is a trigger warning for things regarding I don't know how to say it, consent and other things. Just you know, stuff regarding how I don't know, it just affected me pretty significantly, and I believe Noxie as well. So, that said, thank you, Leo, for saying that and for stepping up to the plate right here. While this campaign does flirt with themes that are pretty fucked up and dangerous, and like, we're dealing with cults and other things like that. What we don't want is an experience where our group, our players, are causing, you know, cruelty. That is what it is. It was cruelty. And it had an effect on me personally as a human. That is the dungeon master, and not just like the in character things and all that. So, this, I do want our players to be able to do so many things and be able to express themselves and do that. But even Leo immediately was like, or Trell was like, this is not what I want to be doing. This is not what I did. It just sort of like, shit happens, and we move on, and we talk about it, and there's no reason to dwell a bunch. But yeah, I just wanted to put that there for anybody who is following this and watching this and was like, damn, that was fucking weird or out of pocket. Yeah, it was, and we all recognize that. So
Yes, I. It was very out of pocket.
yeah. That said, the world is as it is, and it is affected by the actions. And yeah, basically, we'll just put it this way: the party will not be getting a warhorse right now, and there's certain people and areas within the town of the city of Tarbent that, or Talorn, sorry, that are not going to want to deal with our heroes here. Um, Without further ado, though, let's get into episode 36. I'll cue the music, and let's get into it. All right. Episode 36 is going to start with our players having made it back to housing at Jardine's place. Crasted is there.
Jardine was the kobold, right?
Yes. Jardine is the
Hmm.
kobold who has been sort of your de facto housing since you've arrived in town. Um, After an experience at the stables in the north end of town, um, people went home quietly. Not much was being said between the players as they walked through the town, and there's a dark cloud of a feeling over both of them. The people in the town never really take notice of our heroes right now. They're not particularly remarkable looking. But in this moment, as you're walking through the town, you can see that people are just kind of like taking notice of the dour mood and sort of giving you a bit of space. You've made your way to Jardine's house. He's out doing something, but Crasted is there, lets you in, and you find your respective places within the home and pass out. It's the next morning. You have a day to kill before your armor is ready. If you'd like to do anything, please do let me know, otherwise, we can skip on to the next day.
Um, so I think Samira, because she did hang back a little bit, she was a little bit later to get in, so probably um, in the morning here is the first time Leo's getting to see her after the stables. Um,
Fair enough, yeah. That
and
makes
I'm
sense.
I'm not gonna ask for an insight on this because I think you can just see, Leo can see that Samira is angry is a word for it. It's not loud, she's not yelling. It's very quiet, but it is intense.
And you are still with, are you, you're in the house, in Jardine's house. It's a 2-story home, kitchen downstairs. What are you occupying your moment with?
I think um I think Samira's probably uh hanging out in the kitchen area. She's laid out some old gear on a table and she's sort of just doing these little maintenance tasks uh, that are something she can do while she thinks about things and while she's you know they they can center her while she's dealing with what she's going to do with about everything.
Okay.
I am curious about like um does Leo stumble? Would Leo maybe stumble onto that scene or try to sneak by or
Leo is he is sitting in what I can assume is the equivalent of a dining room. There is a piece of leather just kind of draped in front of him, and he is poorly whittling something. Basically, he's trying to keep his one hand busy, and at the same time practice, mage hand. As there is just a stick that is invisibly just floating in front of him as he is kind of chipping away at it for whatever reason.
And the piece of leather is to catch the shavings?
Yes.
I see. Okay.
uh I think then it'll be Samira who sort of puts down the knife she was sharpening. Um, and she'll sort of cross this space to stand, not menacingly over Leo, but uh, she's standing there, and she says, "Yesterday was unacceptable. There is a limit to the things that I can abide. Leo, I can see that you are hurting. There is something that troubles you, and I don't know the full shape of it. I need you to understand something. If a
Samira,
thing
do you,
like that happens again, uh, Leo, I will have to smite you down if you harm another innocent."
Understood. I have no excuses. I. Uh, it's. It's all so much. There's so much. And I hate all of it. I hate it. I hate it all. Can't. I don't know what to do anymore. It's impossible. I'm just so lost. Everyone leaves. Even I leave. And I have nothing left.
Do you mind if I sit?
You want to sit next to a person who's holding a knife?
Leo?
Yes, you may sit. He kind of tosses the knife to the side.
Samira will pull out a chair so that she can sit facing Leo. And she will say, Leo, I need you to understand, I'm not afraid of you. It's not that I am afraid of what you might do, with or without a knife. It's simply that I have an oath. I swore to protect those who could not protect themselves. I will protect them from you if you make me. But I think, Leo, that you are also someone who needs protection. Am I wrong?
I don't know if I'm worthy of such an honor.
That wasn't the question.
I still don't know if I'm worthy of even being called an innocent.
We all begin innocent, don't we?
Not according to some people.
I'm not asking them, I'm asking you.
Mayhaps in the beginning, there was innocence. There was a time when I could freely smile and laugh like any normal person. Been a long time since then. I mean, it hasn't even been that long in reality. It's just, there's so much, and I have to do something, but I can't do it all. And I don't know what to do.
Rarely in those dire hours do we know what we need to do. Sometimes all you can do is to look forward and put one foot in front of the other.
As you're saying this, Samira, the sunlight of the morning sort of starts to, as the sun is rising over the other rooftops in the city, it's kind of sneaking its way into the living room, sort of warming the floor. It's not touching either of you, but you can sort of see the dust floating in it as you're talking.
I think Samira will reach out, and if Leo seems receptive, she will put a hand on his shoulder.
Which shoulder?
His uninjured one.
Okay, that's fine.
Um,
he doesn't resist it. He doesn't prevent you from touching it. He's just kind of. He's got his head in his one hand, and he's just. He's broken? Best way to describe him right now. He's just broken right now.
yeah.
A bit crumpled and small,
Sim-
perhaps. Folded into himself.
Smaller than he seems.
Amura's got a it's a firm grip, but it's not rough. It's gentle. Um, she intends this to be a reassuring gesture. Leo, I won't pry into anything you're not willing to tell me. But if you need to talk to someone, I'm here.
I will try. I need time. I need time. There's too much right now, and I can't. I don't know, but you're right. He kind of lifts his head out of his hand and just kind of cracks his neck. Takes a deep, deep breath. Right. Moving forward.
Just one step at a time.
Just one. Got it. Would you like to ask a question?
What is it that's been troubling you most recently? You were on edge all day.
The scope of everything. The things I saw, I had seen up until recently, they are horrifying. And the fact that everything keeps getting bigger and bigger is not helping. The fact that a darkness that has been creeping for years is as big as what I am facing, is what we are facing. And everyone I started this with is gone now. They left. They're all gone. It's it was too much too quickly. And then when the scope of everything finally came into at least somewhat of a view, I saw a mountain before me. And it was a mountain I didn't see the top of until I still can't see the top of it. I thought it was just a simple group of racist ne'er-do-wells. No, it's a huge group of people that are well funded, well equipped, well stocked of with people who have betrayed their own, who are willing to betray their own, people who are beyond the scope of what I have seen. That mage last time was terrifying. If he is who if he is who I think he is, he gave up everything, and he still gave in to them. Do I have the right to judge him? Do I have the choice to stop what I am doing? Do I have the necessary qualifications to stop whatever this is? And the fact that such a huge beast was in front of me, there was too much. There is too much. There's even more I don't know, and I didn't see the end. At first I did. I thought it was simple. Thought it was simple. Leo pulls out his notebook and he flips kind of to a couple pages, and he pushes it over a bit, and in it there is the image of what can only be described as a tower in the middle of a sea of sand and blood. He's showing her the picture of their base, the one that he almost died going into.
Would you like me to describe it, or?
You'd be better at describing it.
Okay. So, between his notes and his drawing, Samir, you're getting the impression that this isn't from a dream, though it is rather dreamlike. Um, Deep within a forest and in the middle of an ancient and abandoned city is a massive crater. Sticking out of it, hundreds of meters high, is a tower made of twisted sinew and bone. The ground that it sits in is made of flesh, covered in white sand that is almost a talcum powder feel to it, and is likely crushed bone. The flesh reacted when he was there. And that was when he discovered that the cults had the power of invisibility among thousands of its members, all looking at him as they watched him approach the tower. He very nearly died, but fled just in time. It was a trap set for the group that had been harassing and poking and prodding into the cult's plans a little too early. They didn't like that. They thought maybe if these adventurers were as capable as they had proved themselves to be, that perhaps they could be turned or used for some other sick purpose. Leo spends some time sort of regaling this time.
I think Samira will sort of take in the detail of this image for a little while. She's quiet, pretty hard to read. And then at some point she will close the book and hand it back to Leo, and she'll say, "Can I tell you something that I don't think I've had a chance to tell anyone else?"
Certainly.
The day that I came home to find my people slaughtered, my wife dead, my daughter missing, I felt a grief that I thought would drown me. It seemed impossible. How could anyone survive, let alone recover? That grief never went away. I carry it still. But I have to move forward. I took up my oath once to promise that I would, where I could stop it, never let anyone else suffer that way. I understand the feeling of an overwhelming task, a mountain ahead of you that grows steeper each time you look at it. But no mountain is insurmountable. No amount of grief or pain is. You have to keep going. If all you can take is one step, then you take one step. But here I am now. I've found something, a foe I must face. I've found an ally, a couple. And just the faintest hope. So, next time you're overwhelmed, next time you don't feel like you can handle it, let's deal with it another way before it comes out in a way you don't want.
Right. Right. Just one step. Got it. Speaking of steps, he kind of reaches into one of his pockets and pulls out a key. It's a key you should recognize.
From the dream, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, that's a thing. I didn't get it until recently. Do you get this?
Samira will indicate around her wrist she's wrapped a length of singed rope. I had my own souvenir, not quite as shiny, but I had to hold on to it. Otherwise, it would have seemed impossible. Might have thought I was
Eh,
losing my mind.
I thought I was. Not only
So,
did I get a brand of this key on my hand, I got the key itself.
Samira, the rope also did leave a mark in your hand as well from when you were grabbing it in the dream. It's sort of etched
In
into
that
your
case,
skin.
Samira will. I think she's, often got gloves on, but she'll show that mark. That was
Leo
no
will
ordinary
show
dream.
his. Leo will take off his glove and unwrap his hand. By the way, the fingernails on his hand are black, absolute black, and it's not painted.
Have they always been that way?
And he will also, yes.
Okay. Guess I didn't remember.
Essentially, when your fingernails have been pulled out and regrow enough times, after a period of time, they just stay black.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
But yeah, he will show his palm. Certainly
Yeah.
one of the weirdest dreams I've had.
Very strange indeed. Do you have any
Anyways, he
idea?
wraps up his hand again.
Do you have
None.
any idea what kind
None
of key that is?
whatsoever.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Well,
Not a magic, not magical, an existence that exists beyond reason, I guess. It's a key. I have examined it a few times, and normally the person who would look at this stuff is not here. And I was going to ask him about it, but he left. Ew, there's a bot.
I know, I see it. I'll take care of it.
Sorry, I saw it.
No, you're good. You're good. I felt the same way. It's banned. Um, yeah, the key itself isn't terribly remarkable other than it looks expensive. It's golden. It has a green gem and a blue gem inlaid into it, into the handle. It has a nice weight to it. It's probably mostly gold.
I
And
would like
Samira,
to use.
oh, go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead.
I was just saying the rope
I'd
that
like.
you received is just a regular rope from what you can tell. A bit
Yeah,
thick. Nothing remarkable.
I'd like to use my divine sense,
Okay,
um,
feel free.
just to see if this is celestial, fiendish, or touched by necromancy.
Mm.
I doubt it, but just to
Yeah,
see.
as you take a moment to cast the spell and sort of listen into both the key and the rope itself, they do seem rather ordinary. Nothing of the three dispositions, we'll call them, is ringing true to you. Doesn't seem to have any divine nature to it.
I don't sense anything divine or fiendish in these objects. It seems though that either someone wanted to bring us together, or perhaps wanted the very opposite, given what we faced in there. It could simply be that we were in the right place to share such a strange dream, but I don't think I believe that it's a coincidence.
Neither of you have
Yes,
heard
I
of
don't.
anybody bringing something from dreams into reality. Sorry, Leo, you were saying something?
Oh no, it wasn't anything important, and I already forgot about it. It's fine.
It's all good.
Like I said, the person I was going to ask about this stuff is gone. So if I find somebody, I'll probably ask them about it.
It
Or
seems
maybe I'll just find a keyhole that just, has the same design, and then bam, there's a legendary artifact that will help us destroy something or another. Or maybe it's a key to a chest filled with bajillion gold pieces. I don't know.
well,
Maybe it opens a door to a wish, for all I know.
they don't have um, interpreters of dreams here, do they? Someone in this city must have some sense for these things.
I mean, the only person who I could think of to talk about this sort of thing is the old lady back home. When I say the old lady back home, I mean she's literally just that old lady back home. She's got that whole like naturist, spiritualist sort of vibe. She lives kind of on the outside of the city, but just within it to, maintain like, her whole thing. She was called like Matilda. It started with an M. Ma, ma,
The DM is not.
Merelda.
The DM is not
Oh,
remembering.
I'm making this up on the spot. I'm making this up
I
on the spot.
figured. I'm like, I don't remember that. It's all
I'm just
good.
saying, there's
No,
always
put.
that one old lady in a backwoods, out of the way city like Baphomet.
Yeah, no, please do. Please do that sort of thing.
There, yeah, there's always that one. There's always that one old lady who's just been there since the town's inception, or everyone thinks she is because she's like 300 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
I barely remember her name. All I know is that she was some weirdly hermity, spiritual old lady. She might know something about this sort of thing, but that's the closest thing that I could think of anybody who could uh, talk about that sort of a thing.
Well, um, maybe if we ask the berries, they might know of someone who could give us some sort of direction on it.
Mm, maybe. We've been relying on the berries a lot recently, though, and I don't want to put too much pressure on them. Especially since Turtle is still amidst recovery from, all the crap he went through.
Well, we don't have anyone else to ask. Unless you know people here. I don't.
No, I don't know. I barely know anybody in this town. I'm as new to this side of the country as anybody else. We're on a different continent, technically, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, thought so.
Yeah,
I don't
you
know
see.
anybody on this continent.
It's something to look into. Maybe it'll give us some sense of where to go on our larger tasks. We have something else in front of us, at least.
We have a lot of things in front of us.
Certainly, but a task that we can see to in the coming days.
Mm. One step at a time.
One step at a time. What are you carving?
It wasn't going to be anything until later. I haven't really decided. I'm just cleaning off the scrap wood on it. I'll be right back. 1 second.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to close the garage door.
That's okay.
Just feeling out whatever's in the wood. Eh?
Yeah, pretty much. I haven't worked with my hands as much as I used to. I haven't technically had a new hand as he kind of makes it kind of float in the air. Haven't had an actual hand on this side for a while. And even if it's not actually there, I can kind of feel it,
I think I understand.
It's the weirdest thing. Like, at first it was pain, you know? Like, I would constantly think, it's here, it's there, I can feel it, I can feel something that's not there, I can move what's not there. But it wasn't. And then all of a sudden it was. And now it is, and it both is and isn't here. And it is both weird and strangely comforting to know that it both is and isn't here. Does that make sense?
I think I understand about as well as I could without living it.
And that's true. The fact that it's here now is honestly kind of a blessing in its own right. I don't hate it. I'm just perplexed by it. He kind of places the stick down and pulls a coin out of his pocket and does the whole like coin spinning trick. Can still do all the stuff that I could do with it. As he does the coin spinning trick with the invisible hand, and then it like flips over to his actual hand and it does the same thing, and then he flips it back over to to the invisible hand again.
Hmm.
It feels real, but I know it's not. And it's this weird disconnect now. I'm still kind of getting used to it.
It seems very real to me, if not what you might have had before.
Mm. The one who trained me for a while I was recovering, his his party mate person thing said that constantly say where there's a will there's a way, but they were always an odd duck anyways. They said the will of a person can manifest in its own right whenever a person comes to terms with what their will essentially be in the future.
It's your will made into motion.
Seems that way. Doesn't mean it's not weird as hell.
Doesn't seem to me any stranger than magic.
Yeah.
But
Strange thing
it,
is, this doesn't feel like magic, if that makes sense.
no,
I could use a little magic, not a lot. I could use bits and pieces of it here and there from stuff I picked up, but it feels different than normal magic. Or maybe it's not magic. I don't know. Like I said, it's weird. It's weird shit.
seems useful.
It's definitely useful. Now I can use my offhand for, stuff again, which is definitely nice. Can't do all the stuff I want to use it for, but still works.
Did you used to carve a lot?
It was one of the things I did. The place I'm from, it's the middle of the nowhere type of place, you know. It takes a long time to get there to anywhere else, and winters are harsh and cold, and it's covered in snow 70% of the year, I guess. Springs are short, winters are long, and there's only so much you could do when, when you're a kid on the sticks like that. Sometimes you find entertainment in the little things, and this was one of the little things. So practicing a little bit helps keep my mind off of the other things that I shouldn't be focusing on.
I lived on the plains a long way from here. I lived there for a long time. I know the feeling of finding whatever it is that might entertain you on a dull day. My daughter used to find wild flowers or anything with a good long enough fiber. She'd find a way to braid it together, make bracelets, little crowns.
Your daughter sounds a lot like my sister.
I wonder.
She used to do that sort of thing too. She was always the cheerful one, you know. I tried my best to, make sure she didn't follow the path I took. Auntie helped us a lot too. Made sure she didn't follow the same path as her mother.
What happened to your mother?
She got sick and died. Best way to say it.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, most people are.
Fair enough.
I still miss her, you know.
I do.
She always
I
had
know.
that. She always had that warmth, you know. It could be snowing buckets outside. The snow could be starting to cover up the windows. Then it would still be warm right next to her.
She sounds like she meant a lot to you.
She meant a lot to a lot of people. Even if she was just a woman who worked at a brothel, she was she was called the town beauty for a long time. My sister got a lot of her looks too. I've always been told I look a lot like my dad, though the only people who ever saw him were my mother, auntie, and a couple other people around town. My sister looks like my mom, except the only difference between my mom and my sister is hair color. Our mom had a strawberry blonde, almost red hair. She was outside. It looked like you were looking at a sunset walking by. A lot of people grieved when she died, not just me and her.
It's a difficult thing.
Yeah. I just I just want them to be okay, you know?
I do.
I just
You
hope that
must. Go ahead.
I just hope when I go back it's still there. I just want it to still be there. Just just want my home to be okay. Even if it's out in the middle of the nowhere. Even if it's a place of with nothing to it except its name. As long as the people, that place, my family, as long as that place is okay, I don't care about anything else. Rather watch the rest of the world burn before that place goes up in flames. That's why I want to deal with this. That's why I don't want people who can hurt my family to come anywhere near my sister. Come anywhere near my auntie.
You must miss them.
More than I care to admit.
You should admit it.
I'm admitting it to you, aren't I?
Admit it to yourself. Don't bother to hide how much you care for the people close to you.
Yeah,
You can.
but I can't go home yet.
No, there are things to do, but you can never know how long you have with them.
Well, if we want, we can go take a chat with the berries and I'll try and send them a letter.
We'll go out tomorrow. Take some time today to compose your letter and rest.
I am sorry, Samira.
I know.
I am. I hope you know that. I,
It won't happen again.
no. No, it won't.
I take your word as your oath. Rest today, and I mean it. Rest. No planning. Do your best not to worry. Focus on your carving and on getting something to eat. Write your letter. Go to bed early if you can. We'll deal with the rest tomorrow.
We gotta pick up our gear tomorrow, too.
That's something to look forward to.
Certainly is.
I think I'm going to go for a walk. If I'm not back for a while, don't worry. I'll find my way here.
Well, all right.
And Leo,
Hmm.
I mean it when I say rest.
I will rest.
Good. I'll see you later then.
Be safe.
I will
They're
be.
out there.
As you two finish up your conversation and say your farewells for the day, Samira, when you step outside, do you do anything before you leave the home, or
I think Samira, of course, always carries her axe. She never goes far without it. I think there's just a moment where she doesn't say anything, but when she's alone, she'll hold her axe close to her chest and brush her thumb over the gem.
Leo, when Samira's left the home and you're just kind of sitting there in the morning warmth, conversation settling, if you do manage to go rummage around the kitchen, you'll find plenty to eat. A bit chaotically organized, as kobolds, at least this kobold is not a very organized person. But there's plenty of food. You're able to find anything you might want. Vegetables, meats, plenty of fish. Some dried, some recently caught.
He'll take some fresh ingredients and snack on dry stuff for, on and off throughout the day. He's got he's basically doing the whole like there's the good stuff and then there's the dry stuff that he has for snacks.
Stuff you can sort of mindlessly chomp on.
Yeah.
Samira, is there any activities you're looking to do specifically today, or shall we run this through to the next day?
Yeah, there's nothing in particular. Samira's just gathering her thoughts. Getting some air. As fresh as she can get it.
Oh, there's plenty. You're by the ocean. There's a nice light breeze. The sun is out. Um, the day itself is kind of warm, but not too warm. It's quite pleasant actually for being a bit of a swampy area. The tone of the city itself isn't super busy. People are walking around, but at a bit of a slower pace.
I
Um,
think what Samira will do is find a quiet place somewhere, just uh, it's not too busy, but somewhere just where it's extra quiet, extra. Um, she doesn't need to be totally alone, but I think she just wants a space where she can be with her thoughts and um, sort of say a small prayer for Kira's safety,
yeah,
wherever she might be.
yeah. You in a small park along one of the various river streets. You could call them small boats going by, but just sort of a nice little open grassy area. It's
Yeah,
not like it's
no,
part of
that's
anyone's home. It's just kind of on the edge. There's a wooden dock next to it above the water.
no. Samira wants to feel the grass under her feet. You know, she needs to feel connected to the earth,
Top.
connected to the sky. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's just a quiet place where she can put her hopes into words and send them off to whatever might be listening.
But, um, there's nothing more either of you would like to do with this day. Propose that we run a small intermission, and then we'll come back the morning of the next day.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Cool beans. Let's do it. Thank everybody watching. We're gonna take a small break and come back in a little bit. Good time for stretches and all that other good stuff.
Oh no.
Oh
I'm gonna
no.
cry. We've been going for like 20 minutes with no audio.
Oh no.
I'm gonna fucking die.
I have the stream muted. That's why I didn't realize.
Oh god. That's too much to go over again. Alright, I'll lay it out real
We can
quick.
do a quick recap.
Yeah, I'll just say, um, damn, we've been role playing for like 20 minutes. I'm so sorry, viewers. Another tab open. Oh no. It's all good. That happens. You know, we enjoyed it. It's canon to us. We don't gotta worry about it. Um, it's in our minds and our hearts now. It's in the ether. It's nowhere else. I'm not recording the session in any other way. Um, well, anyway, so what happened was they woke up in Jardine's house. The next morning, he snored very loudly, and Crasted helped Samira prepare breakfast, which she did very early in the morning. Leo slept in a bit, but did eventually come down and eat. And then the three of them made their way over to the berries and established contact. While it was a busy morning, the waitresses and waiters were going around doing their thing, while the berries are busy in the kitchen and expediting. They have secured a meeting in the upstairs room because they did want to eat, but they had other things to discuss as well. They've had some croissants, muffins, and other breakfast foods as their second breakfast, which we did have a lot of back and forth about the second breakfast, which I wish was on the stream. But that's okay. They are now sitting at the table discussing the key in the dream. Solid?
Sounds good.
Alright. Damn, that's a hell of a way to sum that time up. In the sense that like it took way less time to say that, but
Yeah.
shit's funny. Okay. Leo, you pull out the key and hand it on over. Clever takes it and holds it and looks it over and oh, sorry. Say what you were saying again about the dream. I'm like trying to restart my mind about what we were going on. Because I got pulled out so easily.
Yes. Yes.
Or so intensely.
Yeah. We decided we're trusting the berries with this because we do trust lesbians implicitly.
Yes.
And yes, so Samira was saying we shared a strange dream, stranger still because we came back with our with souvenirs. Leo had that key and I had this length of rope.
I also still have some gold coins left from that incident too.
Well, I share many dreams with many people, and sometimes those endeavors do bring trinkets. Are you speaking literally, though?
Very literally.
Leo will pull out one of the coins from the dream that he has in like a separate pocket and pulls out a coin from recently, puts it on the table. Do they look different at all?
Roll perception. Or investigate. Actually, yeah, this is more of an no, sorry. Perception.
Investigation.
I want perception. Sorry.
I can do both. I don't mind.
Nar, just one. Nice. You're looking at the coins, and after you set them down, you just kind of like take them back for a second and look at them, turning them over in your hands, one floating in the air due to the mage hand. And They don't seem different at all. They look to be like any other ordinary golden coin. I assume you set them back down in front of Clever.
What was that? Sorry, I cut out a little bit.
Oh, it's all good. I was just assuming that you. And oh, did you hear the result?
Yeah, they look the same pretty much.
Okay, yeah. And then I assume you put them down in front of Clever to take a look at.
Yeah. Might as well.
Yeah, she agrees. There's not
Ex-
really anything different about them.
Extra strange in all this is the fact that we hadn't met each other in the flesh until after the dream.
Now that is very curious. Not something I have not experienced, nor do I know anyone who has. Though, that has to be significant, I would assume.
Certainly seems too strange to be mere coincidence.
I would say so.
You happen to know of anyone in the city who interprets dreams?
She thinks for a moment and reaches out to take the key. And the rope.
Samira's usually got the rope, I think, tied up around her wrist, but she'll undo it, and so she can give it over.
As she looks at the items, just kind of pawing them around and looking at them and holding it up into the light to see through the gems if she can. Other than being a nice key and a simple rope, I'm not really sure what I'm looking at. Just seems like a item of any sort. I mean, the key might be worth something, being gold and all, but yeah. I guess I could send you to Chady. I don't know if she interprets dreams, but she's someone I do know in the town. She's older, a little lost in her mind. But, yeah, I mean, Chady's probably the best person I could send you to for this.
We appreciate any help at all. Can understand how strange this all is.
No, it's quite ordinary. The key, the rope, and nothing looks strange at all. For all I know, you two could have hallucinated and then, after you met each other, thought that you were both in the same dream. I don't know, but that is curious. Anyway, down on the south end of town, past South Market, further west, is a small cabin. Chady lives there, but I urge you to, when you do visit, or if you visit, don't take everything she says seriously. Um, she's an older elf, you know? And for those watching the setting itself, or watching this itself and are not aware, people of long-lived races in this world, after about 150 years or so, if they don't go through a ritual in which sort of resets their mind and empties out memories that they once had, they do begin to lose their mind. So someone could live for a very long time and not recall all stages of their life if they want to keep their sanity. However, many do opt to to keep all of the memories that they can hold on to and sort of enter a bit of a psychosis for the rest of their lives. Chady is one of those. Random narrator interjection. Just because it's commonly known knowledge, and I didn't know how to express that in a different way. Didn't really feel right to have Clever do it. And Leo already knows, so. But he's also gonna be back soon, so we'll just pause for a moment. Unless you want to continue the conversation with Clever, of course, like that's fine.
I think Samira will say it has bothered me how bizarre the experience was, but how normal these objects are.
I agree. Not heard of anyone bringing something back from another side of being awake, but that is interesting. I'll have to think on this. See if we've ever spoken to anyone talking about this, but JD, she sees things by the seashore. I'm kidding. And yeah, I recommend you go talk to her. I don't know if it will be of any use or lead you in the right direction, but she knows some magics, and not many people in this town do.
Any direction is certainly better than none. We
Certainly.
appreciate your help, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, always appreciate your assistance.
Now, is there anything else we can attend to?
I'm not sure if you'd be able to, but I want to send a letter, and the place is kind of out in the sticks, and want it to get there privately as best as possible, you know?
Let's see. How far how far in the sticks are we talking about?
How far out is Baklamel from here?
Well, it's across the ocean all the way to the east, though it is the Nandral Channel, so it's like a skinny part of the ocean, but it takes 2 weeks to sail. And then you're probably a few weeks walk at least from the port of Stormfeld all the way down through the desert and back up to Baklamel in the mountains, which does go through a forest. You're talking like a month travel, essentially, at least if you're booking it and have no interruptions.
About a month or two, probably closer to 2 trip.
Right, that's quite the journey.
Baklamela is north, right?
South. So southeast. I should give you a map. The
That
software
might
I
make
was
things a little easier.
yeah, no, the software I was using to build the map, it costs money, and I lost my progress when I couldn't pay for it anymore. So I was like, oh shit. So I gotta
That
do it again.
happens.
I gotta do it again from scratch.
I gotcha.
But I know where shit is. I know the map in my head. So no worries there.
It's about a about almost a 2-month trek southeast.
Well then,
Place out in the boonies of the mountains called Baklamel.
haven't heard of it, but it is very far away.
Yeah.
I'll see what I can do. No promises, though. I'll have to talk to some people. We usually don't send messages that far. Not even close. You've come quite some way, haven't you?
Yeah. If it helps, he'll pull out 85 gold pieces.
Certainly makes things smoother. I appreciate that.
Hands over, moves the 85 gold into a sack and hands it over.
Takes it and weighs it, and just sort of not like weighs it, but like kind of holds it in her hand. Well, what do you want to send?
He will hand over a thick-ish kind of folded envelope thing. It's like wrapped, essentially.
Okay, like a thin parcel.
Yeah, it's a thin parcel. It's got a minor chunk of weight to it, I guess.
Okay. She'll take it and look at it and go, all right, see what I can do. Who am I addressing this to?
It's on the paper. There's a little like tag of like essentially the delivery address.
Sure. Okay.
It's
She looks it over.
Auntie's place. I forget what we named it.
I don't remember either. I think it may have
So,
just been Auntie's place.
yeah, that makes sense. Auntie's place.
It was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, it feels like 2 years.
Um, yeah, she looks it over and kind of holds it and goes, Leo, I don't want you to worry. This will get there. We'll figure it out. We don't usually send messages across the ocean, at least not to this extent and beyond. But you've done good for us, and I think forming a connection is good, mutually beneficial. So
Yeah,
we'll make sure it happens.
I appreciate that. He kind of
Of course.
scratches the back of his head with with the invisible hand, like I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Just nobody can see that he's scratching the back of his head.
I guess if you were to look closely, you could see like some of the hair moving around, as if a finger was moving it.
Yeah.
Um, Clever just sort of like sets it to the side and goes, "Well, now, is there anything else I can do for you too? Also, how did things go with Avlet? Rare tells me that she sent you down to him."
He was the fence, right? Oh,
Yes.
Yes. Things went well. We have some work.
yeah, we're gonna be headed out after this. Gotta pick up some supplies, and after that, we'll probably be headed out of town.
It's good to hear. He
For a
has
little
good
while.
people. He's someone you do want on your side.
I gathered that he may be an ally.
To me, perhaps to you soon.
It will be it'll be good to see where things go.
She nods and says, I hope so. And if you ever have trouble with Avlid, do let me know.
Of course.
And with that, she gets up from the table and lets you to be, and takes the package with her and the money. So Terrell had to get up or Leo had to get up for a minute to handle something, so we are just going to wait for a second.
Yes, don't forget to check to make sure the audio's okay.
I need like some sort of tool that like yells at me whenever I go back from a break screen. Um, okay. So, sorry about that, folks. I will cut down the VOD so that it's just like showing very minimal break times today. Bit of an odd session today anyway, but that's okay. We're getting through it and we'll be just right as rain soon as possible. So after the people of our lovely table here went and spoke to Clever, had the package sent off and all that, got the info about someone who might be able to interpret the dream. Um, the party has decided to go through town and find the blacksmith to obtain their newly minted armor. Crassus is with them, and I don't know if you guys want to roleplay this or just, say it gets done. Up to y'all. But we did discuss a shorter session today as well, so yeah.
Yeah, we can do a little bit with the armor and see how it
Yeah.
feels.
Okay. So y'all make your way westward in town, still in Blue Tower. Um, you mosey on along the river, and you once again see the building with the water wheel turning some sort of mechanism inside, probably keeping the fire stoked for the blacksmith. You walk on up, and yeah, floor is yours.
Samira will poke her head inside, see if there's a familiar face behind the desk.
Yeah, you
Familiar
see this
disgruntled face.
indeed. You do see the same disgruntled young tiefling woman sitting there, just kind of like chewing on something and looking at her nails as you poke your head in.
Did she ever
Valley
tell us
Girl
her name last
style.
time we were here?
She did not.
Samira will enter with a hello.
Oh, it's you again. Welcome back.
Thank
Um,
you. Yes.
are you here for the armor?
Yes, we are.
Okay, my brother
Yeah.
like recently finished it this morning, so it's ready. I'll go get it if you want it.
That would be perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Just kind of gets down from her stool and sort of like sighs and turns around and walks back into the workshop storage area. You can see various things like plates of metal and half finished projects, various bits of wood and leather. Just looks like some sort of armor workshop. Um, you can hear like a scraping as she's like dragging it along the floor. The wood is like making this like horrible, like as if you're moving a chair on like a school floor or something, and it's just going as she's dragging this big old plate armor. And she's just kind of like holding it with both hands and like struggling and like pulling it back as she's like dragging it towards the bench. Um,
I think Samira will go and help her out.
there's no way behind the counter that's like obvious. You can see it's kind of like a bar where it's just like flat across the shop front. Um, so yeah, when you walk up to it, it's just like this storefront sort of table essentially. You could probably climb over it if you really wanted to.
Yeah, I'll just vault over it.
She's just like out of breath and she's like, "What? What are you doing?" She can't even get words out of her mouth. She's just like heaving from it. She's very wiry and clearly not able to lift things very well.
Right. Plate mail super heavy. We're gonna have to take time every night and every morning to get you in and out of this stuff. You realize that, right?
Well, I don't think I'll wear it all day.
And she's like, as she's like kind of catching her breath, she's like, "My stupid brother, he was supposed to go, come back, but he's been gone all day, probably being an idiot."
Is it
Well,
common for him to disappear for all day?
yes and no. We don't have any orders today, so you can you can pick it up. I mean, you bought it, so. Mm. Oh.
Samira can, in fact, effortlessly pick up the plate armor.
She like rolls her eyes and like starts like walking back to go find the breastplate. Um,
That one should be easier to move.
um, yeah, she's like kind of carrying it with both arms, but sort of like leaning back after she's rummaged around for a moment and like, just sort of like waddles over and just sort of drops it on the counter. There you go.
In fairness to this poor girl, Samira's tall and pretty broad. It's a heavy set of armor.
Yeah. Um,
and I'm tiny and scrawny.
yeah, and she's just like not the kind of person that normally handles these things. It's her brother that does, but this is possibly why she's always annoyed at him, because he just does this
Mm.
shit. Uh, when a transaction needs to happen.
This might be a weird question, but you got the armor dies. That's the word.
Armor guys? What do you mean?
Dies.
Dies. No, I don't die. Well, my friend dyes her hair. I've been thinking about it. But what?
What color have you been thinking?
I need
Uh,
dye for the
like
armor,
like light
like
orange.
paint.
Wait, what about armor?
I don't think they have the dye. They have dyes here. Leo, we'll have to go looking somewhere.
I mean, if
He
you
kind of
describe it
opens
to
up.
me, I might know.
What do you mean? Describe it to you.
What is a dye?
You know what you were saying about your friend's hair?
Yeah.
Like that, but for armor.
Oh, you want the metal different colors?
Yes.
Oh, you should have told my brother that. I don't know. You can come back another day,
Maybe.
maybe, and he might be able to fix it, but you might have to get a whole new metal if you really want that a different color.
What do you need,
Old
Leo?
paint.
I need green, black, and brown. He kind of opens it up, and there's this shiny piece of breastplate. This is the antithesis of what my existence is.
No,
Okay,
you
It's
fine.
don't
so
I
seem
shiny.
like a
accept that.
shiny person, if I'm honest.
Why is this so shiny? I didn't ask him to make it shiny. I just needed it resized so that I could use it with one arm.
It's very polished.
I think he polished yours more than he did mine.
Yours is pretty shiny too, but yours is shiny and loud. Mine just shiny. I just, I'm gonna need some other. Yeah, I'll get some other stuff temporarily. Gonna need some cloths, some leaves, some other stuff. Uh, Probably just gonna need to use some mud and dirt and twigs and stuff to fill it out after we get out of town.
She's
I was
upturning her
afraid this was gonna
nose.
happen.
She's sort of like looking a little grossed out as you're describing mud.
Samira will look to the tiefling girl and she'll sort of hold forward one of her own red locks and say something like this color or lighter. Is that what you were thinking?
I was thinking lighter, yeah. Almost like um the sun, but not quite that bright.
Oh, very interesting. Samira will take a moment and sort of look her up and down and say, I think that would suit you.
Thank you. I'll probably do it someday.
Well,
Why not do it next week or tomorrow?
I have a date next week.
Perfect time then. Get your hair done before the date. Make yourself all nice and pretty. Gussy yourself up.
I'll do what I do. Anyway, do you want like anything else or are you good?
do you have any dark paint
No,
sitting around?
but there may be a hobby store that you might be able to find some paint. There's some artists in town. I don't know if I like it, but you know, they try.
We'll find someone who can paint your breastplate, Leo.
All right, might as well. Just want to take care of this before we go.
Could always throw a cloak over it, if nothing else.
Yeah, I was gonna fill it with other stuff after we got out of town. The cloak helps. It's just
Put a put a big tunic over it. No one would even know you're wearing it.
Mm, I've got a breastplate doesn't do well under tunics. I mean,
That
this
would
hide
look
I'm wearing barely does
bulky.
well under a tunic.
No,
Yeah,
ew. That would look bulky.
that's what I mean.
You'd be like
Well, if
you'd be like a puffed up fish or something, all sweaty under a shirt. Ugh.
it is better than getting shot at with arrows,
You do that.
if that's your concern.
I guess that's what this is for. Uh,
It's up to you, Leo. Whatever you'd like to do. We'll find something.
Yeah, let's just head to that hobby place, find some paint real quick.
oh,
Shouldn't take more than 5 minutes and 5 gold to pick up green, black, and brown.
okay. I have added your breastplate and your plate armor to your inventories.
Thank you very much.
Yay!
You may equip them and become strong.
Yes. I think Samira will take her old chainmail and say to the tiefling, "Do you think if you could use this even for scrap, you're welcome to it?"
Do you want any money?
No, don't worry about it. It's old, seen plenty of use. Be better to see it either given to someone who can still use it or put towards
Yeah, I mean,
something useful.
all metal's good stuff. We'll melt it and make stuff out of it. Thank you. I appreciate
It's
that.
yours.
Thank you. Just leaves it on the counter for now. I think she's tired from lifting things.
Understood. I will delete it from my inventory.
All right. Now, is there anything else I can get you?
I think we're all set.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope you have a good day. Thank you for visiting our lovely blacksmith shop. Come back if you need repairs or new gear.
We certainly will. Thank you very much.
Indubitably.
She pops back up on her stool. Thing. I had to do the freaking thing with my throat to do that. She pops back up on the stool and um, goes back to whatever she was doing before, and is just kind of picking at the chainmail that's on the counter. As you guys leave and start looking for a hobby shop, you do find one and manage to secure some paints. Leo, I presume you got green, brown, and black?
Yes, the colors of the forest.
All right, please drop a gold from your inventory.
Cool.
And you have these little jars that look a lot like beer jars, and they have a pungent paint inside. Um, I assume you bought some sort of brush as well, or you're just gonna pour it on and use your fingers. I don't know.
A combination of both, actually. Like, if
Okay.
there's it would just be like a cheap, like, kind of brush to like spread some stuff around in certain areas, and then kind of finish it off with some finger bits. Use some leaves from here and there, kind of fill some bits in there.
So while the paint is
Range.
drying, do you just like put it back on and like go about your business? Like, how do you do that?
No, he waits. He waits for it to dry. Like, we're headed out of town, so like he just paints it up before, like, and then like he just hangs it in the cart as we're headed out of town.
Okay. Yeah, you've made it back to Jardine's house and gathered up the cart. As Avled suggested you take a cart because it's a much longer road without. It's about a day's travel just by cart. As you're leaving the town of Talorn, it's getting darker, but it's still pretty late in the afternoon. Like there's plenty of sun. The ocean waves to your right are just crashing along. It's calm-ish, but near the shore, you can see the waves crashing into various rocks and beaches and stuff. To your left is the swamp that seemingly goes on forever. Is there anything else you want to do before you leave Talorn?
Nah, I got nothing.
I think we're ready to go.
And with that, as our adventurers travel north to aptly named Northtown, a small town with a theater built out of an old ruin, known for its semi-nomadic lifestyle. Very small town, but one for the arts and those who like to partake in them. You head on to the quest that Avled has set out before you to go find a golden spider that he is determined exists underneath this theater in some sort of location. It's likely to be a difficult task. Or it could be super easy, who knows. Regardless, that's going to be it for the session today. Thank you everybody for watching Zotian Epoch episode 36. We will be back in 2 weeks for the next episode around 6 to 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we'll pick up where we left off at that time. Thank you everybody for watching, and see you around. Much love and take care.
Bye.
Bye.